well as you've played all season?
I think, I talk about effective football. It's certainly as an effective performance we've had this season, because we kept asking questions, all afternoon, sort of afternoon, and the feel of the performance and some of the quality as well. So I was very pleased with that. It's very tough. They're a top side, and it is tough. It's tough in the Premier League anyway. But the top sides have a way of finding control of the game, and I thought we didn't allow them too much control of the game. They started the second half with a bit more calmness, but I thought our pressing lines, I thought the way we set up to stop them from playing from the back, I was really, really pleased with that. And so, like I say, as an effective performance, I'm really, really pleased.
Basically admitted that you never felt that Spurs had control of it.
Well, not in the way they often do. I think they often control games with their style. And that was part of our thinking, of course, to make it feel different. And I thought we did that well. We know we set up from the keeper to press, of course. But behind that, we ask so many questions of their back five and then their back four. Eventually you think you're going to find something, and we did. It's hard for us. Definitely, we've never made bold statements about rolling it around the back, having 600 passes. You've got to find a way to win. That's what it's like in the Premier League when you're Burnley. And I think we're finding ways to win once again. And I think there's a lot to be really pleased about and a lot to focus on, because there's some really good stuff that we're playing, but also the little in between things, the little things that we're doing really well. And we weren't doing as well early season, and now we are, all the little details, and I think we're doing that well.
The front two
No, excellent, but it's their team play. It's not just you're scoring goals. Of course, that's fantastic, but their team play, their energy, their desire, that hardiness you need to be a centre forward. Getting knocked around, and I think that's an important part of it. And I think the team respect that. The energy and the effort they're putting in, and of course, definitely getting their rewards, because they are scoring at the moment and scoring regularly.
Centre half as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting goal. We'll go on to that in a minute. But no, I think, they've done really well. I think the defensive unit's done well. It's not easy, like I say, top sides, and they pop it and they probe and they play just on the edge of your box and they're calm there. And top striker and Harry Kane, of course. But then when they changed, they went slightly more direct by their standards into Llorente. We still dealt with that well. Really pleased with that. And then Tom hasn't had great things, but he's done all the basics so well. His start position first half was excellent, and then he pulls out a big save when he's needed to, which we know he can. Well, I'm bound to be aggrieved. Your words, not mine. I'm bound to be aggrieved by it, because at the end of the day, it goes out. It's a mixture of things, and I must make it clear, I don't think the fourth official wanted to be part of it, but he actually catches it and plays it back to their man. So that allows him to play quickly. Now that's one of them things. But then he plays quickly from 8 yards further down the pitch, and then leads to a goal. So you can't have that. That's when you go whoa. And I think the fourth actually can register that very, very quickly, and almost as it goes over our head, and now he's running on goal. That's when I think you realise and you let the ref know, and he calls it back, because if that now leads to them winning, that's bizarre. To allow that moment to happen, I think that would be a bizarre outcome. I must say, I thought the officials were good today. I know they had a ricochet for the corner. I think that's tough when the officials see that. I'm not just saying it. I think it is. When it bounced off here, it's hard to decide which one that is. And maybe 2 orange cards, for 2 challenges. But I think overall, I thought the referee and the officials were good. But it can't lead to a goal, that incident, and especially when it's 8 yards further forward where the throws. I've seen it back. It's probably 8 yards, probably maybe even 9. That's too big a distance, to allow it to go, and especially when it leads to something so important.
So is the fact that the fourth official played the ball back that compounded the problem?
No. I'll make this clear. I've got no angle on the fourth official at all. I think it was a natural response. The ball goes over and he just catches it, and out of courtesy, just gives it back. So there's no angle on the fourth. What comes next is the key, because once he's got it in his hands, he runs down the pitch and delivers a throw from 8 yards away. If I'm the fourth and I've been involved in that moment, even inadvertently, I'm probably thinking I need to call that.
Yeah, because you're so close, he's so close that you think, well...
Yeah, he's probably not registered how quick that happens, of course. For your brain to figure that out as it's opening up in front of your eyes. But then he does go through and score. And then that would have been really, really tough for us to take if we don't win the game today. That would have been really, really hard to swallow.
The game is going on. At the moment, you're 3 points off of placing the top half of the table, which was most unlikely.
Well, That's the Premier League, though. Apart from the top six, I've mentioned this many times, and even early season, I think Bournemouth had a great start. But I said it'll work itself out. The top six are way in front, I think. That's why it's such a big day when you beat teams like Tottenham. But the rest, the margins are tight. I know Watford are doing really well, as we did last season, but the margins are really tight between the rest. And we're working hard to look after ourselves. We're already bothered about everyone else, and I think that's been a key focus from Christmas. Is get back to focusing on ourselves, what we're about, what we stand for, the belief in it, the key core values we stand for, and I think that's glued us back together, and it's allowed us the players to have the belief in going and performing, and they are performing. Some quiet players early season are now performing very, very well. But the feeling in the camp has grown each game that comes past. Of course, some of that's winning, but I'd like to think it's not just that. I mean, the undercurrent, the feeling of it, it's been terrific, and the players deserve massive, massive credit for how they've taken that on.
That 5-1 home defeat to Everton seemed a long time ago, but was that, it looks like that was the turning point. Did something happen?
Well, to be honest, I'd mentioned in the games leading up to that, we'd had a couple of tricky results, but I thought the feeling was getting better. I thought the performance levels were getting better. That was a hard one to take, of course, but I think that was probably just that bottoming out moment when it's almost like it's a subliminal thing as a player when you go, right, that's not me and that's not us as an individual and as a collective. No big chats. We had a quick chat about it and said, that's not us, lads. Reminded of a few things that make us what we are. And the players, like I say, they deserve a massive amount of credit because they've taken that on and reminded themselves, raised their game, of course, raised their energy levels. I mean, the stats have changed radically just on the simple demand of the physical side of the game, running hard, pressing hard. And they've got their rewards from that. Now, of course, the biggest challenge of all is to keep doing it. Because each game that comes by, you want to go again and go again and go again. We're certainly setting ourselves up with a base, if you like, to work from to do that. We have to challenge ourselves again each game that comes past.
8 games unbeaten at this level. It's almost a quarter of the season. It's remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, another historical marker. We've had many, but that's pleasing. It's a side, byproduct, but it's very pleasing still because it is very difficult to win games and even draw games at this level. Everyone's a good side, and when you add in the Man U's and we're lucky not to win it, and then you add in Tottenham in that run, then all of a sudden you go, well, they're big performances to get big points on the board. So no, very pleased overall.
How important is it, Sean, to have the front two, not just scoring goals, but working from the front with the running and the effort you've done?
Yeah, I mean, that's an important part of a striker's role that not everyone sees. I mean, Harry Kane, I think, that does that brilliantly. That endeavour, that work for the team, as you rightly said, that's a thing that sometimes goes under the radar when strikers are scoring. But the two at the minute are working for the team. The two that are waiting, Crouchy and Leeds, they're waiting as well. And the subs that came on today, activated, and that's the thing, that the whole mentality of the group is what we've been really known for. In the team, the players that are not in the side, the mentality of them. And I think that's really strong again now, and the respect they have for each other has been enormous. It doesn't win you a game, but it gives you a much better chance if everyone's nose is pointing in the right direction.
Good to have the option of the bench in terms of a balanced bench as well.
Yeah. Well, the two wide players are only just fit, so that was a judgment call. I think Jeff and Dwight are doing a great job, but they're only just fit, and it's fair to say they're good players. And then you've got Crouchy, we know had something different. You've got Vidge, who's still learning at this level, but he's got something different to offer. So even just then, that's a good group. When you add in the defensive unit that's playing very well, people getting fitter again. We're trying to get everyone fit. We're getting closer. Still missing Aaron Lennon, still missing Defoe, still missing John Walters, these type of players. But the group mentality has stayed strong even with the injured players. We've gone out and delivered, so that's a key thing.
A couple of international managers in attendance as well, so there'll be some individual performances that perhaps catch the eye.
That's for them to decide on. I just worry about how my players are playing for us. That's the key. And if they get recognised outside that, of course, that's great.
Stevenson special.
Yeah, we're just waiting on news on what they're going to do. Yeah, it's just a calf situation, but how to best deal with it.
Thank you.
There you go.